Polls have ended in Malaysia. 22 million Malaysians were eligible for voting in today's polls. A cost of living crisis and political infighting has plagued the country for nearly about 3 years. And these were the issues that, of course, dominated the campaign in the lead-up to the voting. The Malaysians are looking for a few things from their government. They want their elected representatives to work. And the voters have, of course, shared their concerns and issues ahead of the polls. The key issue which the Malaysian people want addressed is, of course, the cost of living crisis. They also are looking for political stability in their country, and they also want their economic prospects to get better.
We hope the leaders should be able to bring the country forward rather than, with the domestic issues. So Malaysia used to be one of the Asian tigers economically, so hopefully that will be translated again.
However, it seems that these issues are not getting resolved anytime soon, despite the candidates promising jobs and better economic prospects. So, Ted, let's take a look at the candidates who are in the running. The first one is, of course, the incumbent Prime Minister Ismail Sabri Yaakob. He's a part of the United Malays National Organisation, and some leaders of his party are facing some serious corruption charges. Now, the other is Anwar Ibrahim, who leads the Pakatan Harapan Alliance and has been eyeing the premiership role for more than 2 decades and has spent a decade in jail on a conviction for corruption. Now, Malaysia has been plagued with several cases of corruption, with ex-Prime Minister Najib Razak currently serving a 12-year sentence for his involvement in the 1MDB scandal. With voters mainly concerned about corruption, the political parties, along with the 3 major coalitions, have projected themselves as being trustworthy, clean and competent. But the question, of course, is, will their promises convince the people of Malaysia that anyone who's next elected will be able to provide clean and a non-corrupt governance? All right, now to give us more insights in terms of what, of course, is expected to happen in these crucial elections in Malaysia, we're being joined by Ms. Arina Najwa, who's a senior analyst, and she's joining us live on this broadcast. Now, Ms. Najwa, this, of course, is a very important election for the people in Malaysia. Tell us what is expected of it.
Yes, thank you. So currently polls have closed and counting has begun. Malaysia is in an interesting position where there is no longer a dominant political party as it saw before, prior to 2018. So after 2018, we see a lot more coalition building amongst coalitions. So with Pakatan Harapan, they also have to find new partners in order to form federal government. Barisan National Coalition is already, having talks saying that they can form coalitions with Perikatan Nasional and GPS coalition in Sarawak. So moving forward, it will be Malaysia may not have a government on November 20th if there is no majority vote by a single coalition. So that means negotiations will begin in the next few days to see who will form federal government.
All right, very interesting. Now, one of the issues that has been talked about a lot with respect to the Malaysian politics is the issue of corruption, where former prime ministers have in fact been accused of being corrupt during their tenure. How likely is that this issue will play on the minds of the voters when they voted today?
I think it's still very fresh in the minds of voters, especially now when the country is having, an issue of cost of living going up, inflation also going up, currency depreciation is also an issue, and especially 2023 is projected to have an economic downturn. So people are worried about their jobs as well. So obviously there's a lot of dissatisfaction amongst the voters where their livelihoods are not taken care of, but they see corrupt politicians, taking away their money. So I think other, leaders are also going through court cases. I think Party President Ahmad Zahid Hamidi is also going through some court cases alongside other politicians. So this will definitely be in their minds. But ultimately, it does go back to who can serve the constituencies best. So despite some of the corruption allegations, it still depends on the courts, what the courts find out. And some of these politicians, even though they've had some, cases in court, may still be elected anyway as MPs.
Absolutely, indeed. Now, people are watching this election from outside of Malaysia. They're all, of course, looking at the grand old man of Malaysian politics. Here, of course, at the age of 97, call himself the grand young man of Malaysian politics, Mahathir Mohamad, the former Prime Minister. He is in the running. Now, it's not clear whether he'd want the top job in Malaysia, but what are his prospects looking like this time round?
It's looking a bit tough. It's definitely different than previous coalitions and different from 2018 with his new coalition and new party. This time round, he has also said that he's not willing to work with the other major coalitions like Perikatan, Pakatan, and also Barisan Nasional. So it makes it tough for him to form federal government. Analysts and also, news outlets are also predicting that his coalition and also his party is not going to perform well during this election. So they may not even have a lot of leverage when it comes to forming federal government with other coalitions.
All right, we'll have to leave it there. Thank you very much indeed, Ms. Arina Najwa, for joining us and getting us all those insights there. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.